Hi and welcome to my soul tribe. My name is Miriam Rose. If you like this video, please make sure to subscribe, set your bell on all, like, comment and share, as I really appreciate all of your support. And let's get on with the video. My dearest brothers and sisters, this is Hakann speaking. I greet you in peace and love. It is my privilege to bring you the last 25 of these love messages. Number 1. We personally prefer spiritual paths that include and integrate everything, as opposed to excluding or judging certain parts of life or trying to get rid of them. For example, we think the ego should be integrated, not fought. If there is a soul's desire to have intercourse with someone, then we think that the desire should be honored. We think the body should not be treated as just a sack of meat and bones, but as a wonderful vehicle through which you can have experiences. We don't think that life itself is something that should be resisted, but instead is something that should be experienced. This is why you chose to be born. Yes? Number 2. If you have a repeated desire for something, such as for example a beautiful relationship, then not always but often this means that you will have this at some point in the future. Maybe the time simply is not ripe for this yet. However, if this repeated desire is not really towards something, but more away from something else, such as away from some inner pain, then it is more important to observe your own pain or fear, because feeling a resistance to something or a push away from something is not a great basis for manifesting what you want. Number 3. Practically everyone who is physically incarnated has a shadow. These can be less loving tendencies of yours, or it can be a part of you that is unseen. Either you're willfully blind to it, or you are simply unaware of it. In any case, there is no shame in having a shadow. It is just good to be aware of what your shadow is and what less loving tendencies you have if you come under pressure or stress. It is much healthier to accept that you have a shadow side than to pretend that you do not. Number 4. Music can be very healing, relaxing, and it can help very much when you're doing all sorts of spiritual activities. YouTube is a great place to find some wonderful experiences. Number 5. We would like to invite you to be gentle with yourself. If you're living on earth right now as an awakened or awakening soul, you are already doing amazingly well. We love and respect and support you. In our eyes, it would be strange if you did not occasionally eat or drink something that was perhaps a bit less healthy, or sit in front of a screen for quite a long time, or just not feel like doing much of anything for a certain period. All of these things are entirely understandable and expected. They do not make you weak or flawed or faulty. You are amazing, and you occasionally needing to take a break or wanting to have something that's perhaps not the most healthy option does not take away from that at all. Number 6. The beings who are trying to control you are much less powerful or wise than you are. As Hakann reminded you in one of his earlier messages, you really are like an elephant who got so used to being chained up and being helpless when it was young that you do not realize that by now you have become so strong and powerful that you can just walk all over Earth's control structures. And if a couple of heart-centered light workers come together, that would be even more impossible for the dark controllers to stop. Even if the dark controllers may score superficial victories, the energies of people rising up for their freedom and not complying will keep echoing and echoing and echoing, and that will become louder and louder and louder in humanity's collective subconscious until an unstoppable mass movement arises. Number 7. I love you very much. I have been a mother or sister or mentor or advisor to a good number of current Earth light workers, and I just wanted to say that you are doing great, and I'm so very proud of you. Number 8. Here are the primary ways in which people make a lot of money on your world. 1 is to plunder or steal something or some company that someone else has built. 2 is to insert themselves as intermediaries. A non-evil example of this is that someone matches Uber driver to people who want to take an Uber ride. This is not bad by itself, but still it is a very good way to make money, because as an intermediary you don't have to do a lot of work, you don't need to have a lot of things, and you carry little risk. A more nefarious form of being an intermediary is lobbying to make something more complicated and then selling your service as someone who can help people navigate the now more complicated rules. A third way of becoming rich is selling something that has no inherent value, such as creating unbacked currency or unbacked crypto coins out of thin air and then selling that or lending that out. A fourth way of becoming rich is through crime or corruption. A fifth way is simply being born into wealth and letting your money create more money. A sixth way is selling a product that allegedly cures problem X, but in reality it makes problem X worse or creates problem Y, so that you can keep selling additional products forever. A seventh way is by holding so-called public office and engaging in insider trading or changing the laws that a company has to pay, say, 10 million less in taxes, and you get 1 million too. And the only party that is screwed over is the taxpayer, or by giving government contracts to friends or family and taking a cut under the table. An eighth way is to take from the future and possibly from unborn people. Take money now in exchange for promising that the unborn will pay back in debt. A ninth way is to either literally or metaphorically sell your soul and start working for the evil side. While in a double of individuals to become well off, it is quite hard to become extremely wealthy on earth by simply creating a great new product, because the established powers will convince the government to legislate against you, or in some cases you will simply be assassinated. Of course, we do not advocate that you engage in crime yourself, but this is the unfortunate current reality in your world, and we wanted to inform you of that. Number 9. Often progressive movements or organizations start out with genuinely good intentions, and initially they indeed make a positive change in the world. Unfortunately, in some cases, those movements and organizations don't stop after the desired change has been achieved, because people will want to feel righteous anger. People still want to feel like a hero who is speaking out against injustice. People still like the sense of community and belonging, and the sense that they are one of the good guys and that they get from being part of such an organization. And some people are still getting a salary or status from their position in those organizations. And so unfortunately, in some cases, those progressive movements or organizations can eventually become more extreme and authoritarian and intolerant over time. Some progressive movements or organizations now do more harm than good in the world. Of course, certain non-progressive movements and organizations are harmful too. We would like to say that we consider everyone on earth to be inherently good enough, whether or not they are part of an organization. It is not necessary to find a villain to defeat in order to prove your value, or to prove that you are one of the good people, because you inherently already are worthy and good. Number 10. We love you so very much. We think you're amazing. Thank you for inspiring us. Greetings from Venus. Number 11. For most people to achieve their highest good, it is necessary that they work on themselves in multiple areas. One might be finding a fun hobby, another might be healing their past trauma, another might be doing something meaningful and beneficial for society, another might be having good and healthy habits, another one might be to find a way to be financially stable, another might be finding a community or a relationship that gives them a sense of belonging. That said, you absolutely do not need to work on all of these at the same time. In certain cases, it can be healthy to not take any steps in one of these domains for a time, so that you can focus more fully on another domain. Number 12. Your soul is safe. Hence, on a very fundamental level, you are safe no matter what happens. Number 13. You are loved and deeply honored. There will come a time when the dark controllers have been arrested. You are free. Your galactic family will have landed and your needs will be met. There will come a time when you can look back at this current time and think that while it may have been an awful time for many, right now you are free, you are healthy, you are happy, and the rest of your life will be amazing. Number 14. We are very much looking forward to meeting you. We have prepared the metaphorical red carpet for you, and from our perspective, very many of your current problems can be resolved without technology and through our healers. In the future, what may matter most is not how much money you have, or which health problems you currently have, or by your physical attractiveness, but by how deep you have gone inside, by how much you have dedicated your life to serving Source, by how much you know yourself and have dealt with your past pain, and by how much you are able to love. Number 15. Usually you cannot heal your way out of a desire. If you have a so-called shallow or so-called bad desire, then the two options that we recommend are either indulge that desire so long as it doesn't hurt anyone else, or investigate what's under that desire and address that. For example, if you want a sports car, either you can go earn the money and then buy that, or you can investigate why you want a sports car. Perhaps you want more love or attention. However, simply thinking that wanting a sports car is shallow ultimately will not serve you, because then you're just suppressing a part of yourself. Number 16. Usually when you experience trauma, or if you very much suppress one side of yourself, then you create an inner fragment of yourself. For example, this might be an inner child, or it might be the unaccepted part of you who is really angry. The vast majority of people are more traumatized than they realize, and the vast majority of people have many such inner parts. It can be a part of healing process to give these parts love and understanding, to listen to them and ultimately to reintegrate them. For example, you can literally visualize placing them in your heart space after having listened to them and loved them and asked them if there is something they want to do. It is important to honor and listen to your inner child, because ignoring those parts of you is why they got split off off from you in the first place. Number 17. On Earth as it currently exists, you have to stand up for yourself and defend your own interests, because few to know other people will. This is unfortunate, but it is the current reality. If you just give and give and give, people will drain you dry. Number 18. It can be a beautiful and trust-creating habit to thank people when they state their boundaries to you. Number 19. Sometimes it is good that romantic relationships only last a certain period of time. This does not mean that the relationship failed or that anyone did something wrong. Perhaps it was simply because that relationship started when it started and it ended when it ended. Perhaps the two of you have learned and experienced what you were meant to learn and experience with and from each other, and now it is time to move on. Number 20. Many people feel their feelings or receive their inner guidance, but then they use their rational mind and logic to bury that, and often people end up making far worse decisions as a result. It is rarely a good idea to use logic to invalidate your own feelings, and if you know that you just received genuine inner guidance, it is probably a good idea to just follow that and not overthink things. Also note that Hakann's suggestion for contacting your own soul involves saying or thinking, "My soul, what should I do today?" and then listening to the first thing that comes up, for that is your soul's answer. Number 21. You are the forerunners of humanity. There may come in a time when you will be called to teach or lead or serve in a public way. However, your own guidance can better determine when that proper time is. Then your rational mind can. Your rational mind may very well suggest that you start teaching or leading before you are actually genuinely ready to do so. After all, you don't just need one higher perspective before you can become a great teacher. You need many higher perspectives. You need to be able to see things from several different perspectives, and you need to have integrated these perspectives in your daily life so that they are a lived reality and not just some rational ideas. At the same time, once you do receive the invitation from your soul to start leading or teaching or serving publicly, follow that call and trust that the path will be revealed to you as you walk. Number 22. People don't want to be told who they should become and what they should do and believe. Instead, people want to be supported and appreciated as seen on their own journey to become who they want to become. If you can provide such support or provide a loving and safe container for people in general, you will be loved and respected and may be thought of as a desirable romantic partner. Number 23. Harming others harms yourself, for you are them. Helping others helps yourself, for you are them. Helping yourself in a way that doesn't harm others also helps the whole, for you are them and they are you. Number 24. If you have a lot of thoughts floating in your head along the lines of "I need to do this at some point," then the following may be useful. First, write down every single chore that you need or want to do at some point. Then take your calendar and schedule every single task or put them on a to-do at some point list. Also, schedule a periodic review of your to-do at some point list. Make sure that you schedule things in a realistic way, and from then on, every single time a new chore comes your way, either decide that you are simply not going to do it or schedule it immediately into your calendar or put it immediately on your to-do at some point list. So there is no more "I'm going to do this at some point" or "we are going to meet up at some point." There are only things that are scheduled and things on your to-do at some point list. This should help you get rid of thoughts that you still need to do certain tasks at some point. Number 25. This is Source speaking. My children, I love you all forever and infinitely. I hear you, I see you, I feel you, and I love you. There is nothing that you could ever do that would make me stop loving you. I will never ever forget any of you. Your actions will be loved and appreciated and remembered by me and by my angels forever and ever, no matter whether those actions are what you would label as good or bad. I will love and appreciate and remember regardless, no matter how many millennia may pass and how many stars may burn out. I will remember you and I will appreciate and learn from your life and experiences. If you want, you are free to think of this as one purpose of your life, one that you will automatically fulfill and for which you have my eternal gratitude. I would like to thank you very much that you are allowing me to experience existence through you and that you are allowing me to learn about existence and about myself through you. I appreciate you and am grateful to you for that. Furthermore, let it be known that I have decreed that Earth shall be free, with the exact timeline depending on the choices that Earth people make. Let it be known that I have decreed that you shall live in freedom and in abundance and in connection with your benevolent galactic family. And so it shall. This is Hakann speaking once more. I would like to thank Source for that beautiful message. While realizing that Source is not a being separate from myself, I would like to thank every being who contributed one of these messages, and I would like to thank you for listening to these messages and in doing so, allowing this these benevolent energies to flow into the collective subconscious of mankind. I hope you have enjoyed this and benefited from it. Again, you are invited to share in the comments which message or messages most resonated with you. With absolute gratitude, love and light, cosmic kisses to everyone. Till next time, bye for now.